So I want to talk to you about some game that Benjamin Franklin dropped on the topic of wealth that burned when I heard it. I want to share it with you because it's very applicable today, and that's what we're going to talk about on this week's Fetta Facts. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Fetta Facts. This is Jerry Fetta, founder and CEO of Wealth Dynamics. So I've been doing a lot of reading and studying various people, again, that have mentored me and helped me with my wealth building. And one of those people is actually Benjamin Franklin. Okay, Benjamin Franklin in today's dollars is a top 1%er. He's a founding father of this country. And if you didn't know, he wrote a book on wealth. Right now, this goes back in the 1700s. So when you're reading this book, you have to really get into the old lingo, right? But he talks about, these people that are complaining about something that we all complain about, and it's the subject of taxes, right? So I want to talk to you about what I learned from Benjamin Franklin on this week's Fetta Facts. And again, guys, this is all facts, no opinions. This is not just what I think. I believe this is a proven and true statement. I've seen it time and time again with my own life, okay? So in this story in the book, Benjamin Franklin is talking about, and it's called, I think his book is called The Way to Wealth, right? He's talking about these people in the town square, they're complaining about taxes, right? Now keep in mind, this was back in the 1700s, right? They didn't know how good they had it. They didn't even have income taxes yet. They just had sales taxes and tariffs. Today we've got sales taxes, tariffs, property taxes, state income taxes, federal income taxes, inheritance taxes, estate taxes. We've got taxes out the wazoo, things they couldn't even imagine back then. But it just goes to show, even 300 years ago, they were complaining about taxes, right? Now, Benjamin Franklin was talking about this in the book, and he said, there's this, the taxes, and they're keeping us from being wealthy, and they're really, a bad thing and all this, and it's the reason why I can't grow my income. It's the reason why I can't save. It's the reason why I can't this. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Here was his response. He said that there are certain taxes, of course, that we have the government levying against us, right? That's a given. But he said there are other taxes that we pay that the government doesn't have any control over, and they can't reduce. We can complain about them all they want. The government can't even help us with these ones, right? He mentioned things like laziness. He mentioned things like stupidity, right? He mentioned things like making bad decisions. These are the taxes that he says you pay 2, 3, 4 times more than what you would pay to the government, right? And so he's saying if you were to just forget about the government taxes for a while, put those on the back burner, what if you were to double down on your work ethic, right? How would that help you? Your income would probably go up and you would be less worried about the taxes, right? What if you were to triple down on your intelligence, your financial intelligence? Same thing, you would be making better decisions. There was a survey done each year by the National Financial Educators Council that talks about the amount of money that Americans lose due to their own lack of financial training, financial illiteracy, in other words, $388 billion. Hey, what's up? Jerry here. I just wanted to give you another reminder. Grab my book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom. It's going to be one of the best books you have ever read on finance. I can promise you that. You're going to love it. It's also a free offer. So if you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get that now. Okay, there's a if I told you we're going to start a business together and the opportunity of the industry is $388 billion, you would look at that and be like, wow, that's a pretty big opportunity. That's a big market. What is it? And I told you, oh, it's actually just you becoming financially literate. If you were to become financially literate, you could get a piece of the $388 billion, right? How big of a piece do you want? Well, you got to double and triple down on your financial literacy, right? So it's about taking responsibility. And this is true for me, guys, because I don't get super into the complexities of tax planning. I did for a little while, and I had an experience back in 2020. I spent some time, about a year, in very close proximity to a guy that owns and runs a family office that does hundreds of millions of dollars, right? And in September, he was filing over 90 tax returns. I've never seen a human being so stressed out, so just occupied and attention focused on so many different things, because he had so many different tax planning strategies. He lived in California for one, right? But he's looking at, trusts and entities and corporations and charities and all this stuff. And it led to him filing over 90 different tax returns. Okay, now, I'm not telling you don't do tax planning, but I'm telling you it's a house of cards. Taxes are an arbitrary, They're naturally not here. They're not included in our Constitution, right? So if you look at that and you say, okay, well, we added them later, which we did. We added them first in the Civil War as a temporary experiment. We then took them away and then added them back again in 1913, right? And so now we have taxes as something that have been added to our system. When you add one thing that's not naturally there, you either have to take it away or you have to add more things to take care of it and handle it, right? Like I want you to think about, we have roads. Roads weren't naturally there. So because we have roads, what happens? Okay, well, now we need to have better transportation. So we add cars. Because we added cars, now we have to add policemen. We have to add stop signs. We have to add gas stations. Because of all those things, we have to add the regulators for the gas companies and the stock market so people can invest in them. And it builds up and up and up and up and up. And so the same thing can happen with your taxes. I want to avoid having to pay taxes. I put my attention there. I'm going to add this strategy or that strategy, oil and gas drilling, a charitable trust, whatever it might be. And because I added that, now I need to add this. Because I added this, now I need to add another thing, and it starts to build up and build up and build up and build up, and it can easily turn into, now I've got 90 tax returns. Okay, so you should look for legal ways to plan and reduce your taxes. However, I would put more effort and focus on doubling down on your work ethic, doubling down on your financial intelligence, doubling down on your ingenuity, right? Doubling down on the value that you're delivering to others around you, because that will bolster your income. Let me show you some quick math on this. We're going to whiteboard this out because I feel like people are going to hear this concept and they're going to be like, yeah, Jerry, I get it, but still I don't like taxes. And so I'm going to continue to put all my focus and attention there. Okay, so check this out. Let's say that you are going to, let's say you're going to do a charitable donor advised fund. Okay, meaning you're going to put money into a fund to get a charitable deduction, right? One of the most basic ones, or let's say you're going to do an IRA. Let's use that one. That's even easier. You're going to do an IRA. I think you can put maybe $7,000 a year into that IRA right now. Okay, and let's say that you're in a 30% tax bracket. So you put in $7,000 and you get to deduct that off of your income. You're going to save $2,100 approximately in taxes if you're in a 30% bracket. That's your savings. Right? So essentially you've pocketed $2,100. It costed you $7,000 to do that. I want to ask you, if you were to double down on your work ethic, double down on your financial training, double down on the value you're delivering to others, double down on how strategic you're being, and you really put your best creative mind to it, if you're in a 30% tax bracket, to have an extra $2,100, you would need to earn $3,000. Okay, so let me ask you this then. Which one builds more wealth? Earning, so increasing your income by another $3,000 so that you can save an additional $2,100, or taking $7,000 you already have, stowing that away in an IRA that you can't touch till you're 60, and you're going to end up with the same $2,100. Okay, I actually lean more towards the second one. Why? Because imagine the skill sets that I need to learn to earn an extra $3,000. Hey, you want to see a magic trick? Get a copy of my book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom. I know it's in front of my chest and my face because I want you focusing on the book and not me for a moment before you go back to focusing on me and the content. Right? Imagine the work ethic that I need to develop to earn another $3,000. Earning $3,000, if I can do it once, I can do it again and again and again and again and again. So I would prefer to be in a higher bracket with higher income than in a lower bracket with less income. See what I'm saying? If I do the $7,000, that's great, but it doesn't expand as much of my financial life versus if I can figure out how to earn more income, I save more money. Sure, I pay more taxes. It's just the nature of the game. There are strategies to lower them. I'm not saying don't use those, but I'm saying shift your attention. Focus on growing your income, and people who make a lot of money pay a lot of taxes. Right? You might look at these millionaires and billionaires and you're like, oh, they only pay 5% or they only pay 10%. Yeah, of a really big number. Of a really big number. 10% of $1 billion is a lot more than 20% of 200,000. See what I'm saying? So I want you to think with, how do I grow my income so that I have more means, increasing the means, expanding the means, rather than how do I figure out how to not pay taxes? Okay, because ultimately when you focus on not paying taxes, you also give up options, you give up liquidity, you give up access to the money, and that inhibits your ability to create a wealthy life now. It's deferment. You have it down the road, but you don't have it now. So let's listen to Uncle Ben. There's a reason he's on the $100 bill, right? I hope that this Fetta Facts was valuable for you today. If you've not gotten a copy of my book, grab one here. You can go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo. I'll see you next time. Hey, this is Jerry Fetta here. I want to thank you for watching my video, watching my content. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to learn more about the blueprint to financial freedom and how you can achieve passive income that exceeds your savings, your expenses, your taxes, your generosity, and build wealth like the top 1%, I want to encourage you, grab a copy of my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. You can go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, or you can click the link in the description of the video here. The copy is free. You cover your shipping. We'll send the book out to you, and we'll send you an email with a bunch of great bonus material also for free. Get the book, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on my next content.